My name is Bishop Clarence Harris, and we need your help. Georgia is in the crossroads right now of determining its fate, not only the state of Georgia, but also the entire United States. Why? Because of the fraudulent foreclosure process, wire fraud, mail fraud, that's committed by the banks, processing servicing companies who have confiscated millions of homes in the state of Georgia without due process. Our current Attorney General, Sam Olens, have been complicit with this here. 4 years ago, he advertised and campaigned that he would bring an end to such illegal practices. Evidently, he has not done so. We're not advocating to vote for Republicans, we're not advocating to vote for Democrats, but we do need a check and balance system here in the state of Georgia. The House of Representatives, the Senate, and also the governor will most likely be Republican. We need a Democrat that will also be there staying in the gap to be a watchdog to make sure that citizens' rights are protected. Plutocracy, what America has become, it used to be a democratic republic with the rule of law. A plutocracy because the politicians are now controlled by the banks, corporations, and special interest groups. You must get out and vote on November 6th to put Greg Hatch into office so that he can be a watchdog to look after and make sure the rule of law is practiced in this state. Our current Attorney General, Sam Olens, a Republican, he had advertised he would help citizens in the state. He have not prosecuted one case since he's been in office in 4 years. It's time for him to go. He received $100 million, yes, $100 million in the national mortgage settlement with 5 of the major large banks, and not $1 of that went to help citizens in the state of Georgia. He received settlements from LPS in the state of Florida, and also DocX is also a subsidiary as a settlement for funds for corruption, for fraud and illegal acts and fraudulent documents. None of that went to homeowners. He collected money from the Aquan Servicing Company as a settlement, and none of that also went to homeowners. Ladies and gentlemen, says the state of Georgia, right now we don't stand up, all of our property will be in jeopardy. The courts are not allowing any of the cases to go forward. And even the state of Georgia State Supreme Court has ruled that a homeowner does not have the right to know who owns their property, who owns the note. This was decided in U versus JP Morgan back in 2013. Vote now and stand November 6th. Let's get out the vote for Greg Hatch for Attorney General for the state of Georgia. This is not sponsored by him nor for him, but these are citizens who say that we need to make a difference. Thank you for your support. Get out and vote.
Hello, my name is RAFAEL RIVERA. I'm a U.S. citizen and currently residing in Georgia. The purpose of me coming in front of this camera is to discuss the issues of why the Attorney General from the state of Georgia is not enforcing the current laws that are codified in the OCGA law books, and choosing not to enforce based on claims that it's out of his hands, out of his jurisdiction, etc., when other attorney generals from other states such as Florida, Michigan, New York, especially New York, Eric Schneiderman, the attorney general from the state of New York, is aggressively enforcing mortgage and foreclosure fraud laws. The attorney general here in Georgia can do the same, and just enforcing the current laws that are on the book. So my question is, why is he not doing that? Again, other attorney generals have indicted individuals. The Michigan Attorney General indicted Lorraine Brown, who used to reside in Alpharetta, Georgia, was the owner of DocX and LPS that moved to Jacksonville, Florida. He was able to indict her, and she was out of state, and the Michigan Attorney General did the same. So again, my question is, why can't the Attorney General from the state of Georgia do the same with the same cases, the same information, same data, and enforce the laws that are currently on the books?
Hello, my name is Lawrence Crandall. I am speaking on behalf of Howard Graber, who is a disabled person. Mr. Graber and his wife had their homes taken away from them in total disregard of the law, because Mr. Graber had had a severe stroke, and the banks did not work with them, but instead sent the police with a SWAT team to take them out of their home, even after they had filed the proper forms and papers, a counterclaim called 441132 in the OCGA. They are still being hounded and are now the victims of malicious prosecution in furtherance of the cover-up of this act by the sheriff. because the sheriff actually violated his oath of office because he was supposed to have filed these forms with the state court, actually Superior Court, for a jury trial. Instead, he sent the SWAT team and tasered Novalee Graber, the wife of Mr. Graber. This is an ongoing court battle, and due to some of the papers that Mr. Graber has filed to try to save his home, all done in self-defense, Gwinnett County is trying to have Mr. Graber thrown in jail for 170 years after having a severe stroke. To me, that is a life sentence. And all he did was try to save his house. This is a case of malicious prosecution. This is a case of a group of people, including the Attorney General for this state, Mr. Sam Olens, who had promised the Grabers on numerous occasions, possibly 12, possibly more times, when they have met with him to try to resolve these matters, and nothing has been done except more malicious prosecution in furtherance of this cover-up and the conspiring to deprive the rights of citizens under color of law. I am not an attorney. I only read the law. Thank you very much.
You have just heard from RAFAEL Rivera. You just heard from Howard Graber, how they have not had due process in this state or assistance from our Attorney General. Maybe because our Attorney General is in bed with the banks and all other members of the financial service community. For he has an attorney by the name of Shell Rutledge, which is a member of the McCalla-Raymer law firm, serving as his special assistant to the Attorney General for the state of Georgia. McCalla-Raymer also owns Promise Solutions, which is the #1 debt and foreclosure processing companies in the state of Georgia. McCalla-Raymer also sponsors continuing education work classes for judges. So our judges, our Attorney General are all being tainted by the #1 law firm that take your home. We must get Sam out because he is in collusion with all those who are contrary to law and citizens in the state of Georgia. Go and vote November the 6th. It is a must if you want to save your property and save your lands in this great state.